the budget on this was quite big as well. They made 44 million on the opening weekend.
Yikes.
It needs to clear 300 million to make a profit. The sentiment out there after the first weekend is so varied that it's not dragging people to the audience, whereas like Obsession was low and people got excited, and they just said that this is the fourth weekend in a row a film has got more people through the cinema doors than the week before, which is never happened ever, full stop.
Not four. Yeah, three's rare to begin with. A four, no, I don't think that's ever been done, like you said. I saw it the opening week, I want to say. It was full house. Front row was sold.
Yeah. And back rooms is even busier. They're the busiest I've seen the cinema this year, those two films.
Same. It was sold out to the wall to wall. It was in the big theater too when I saw back rooms.
Guys, so unfortunately I don't hold out much hope for Disclosure Day, because it feels like those guys are dominating the box office.
Rage Whale.
Today's discussion is a spoiler review. Again, you have been warned on the highly anticipated Disclosure Day by Steven Spielberg. Does it live up to the hype? Well, we're going to get into that very quickly. And we end on our top 3 Spielberg films of all time. This was a fun conversation. Irrelevant of your thoughts on the film, we hope you enjoy this.
Sitting all day, so I'm doing the opposite. I'm going to stand for this one.
I like it.
Welcome back, guys. Today it's myself, Kev, and Drew with our regular guest, Peter, all the way from New Jersey, who's doing this on his stand-up desk.
He's going to stand and deliver.
A little bit of improv and a little bit of stand-up. Here I come.
So as you know from the intro, today's film we're going to be talking about is Disclosure Day by Steven Spielberg, which has got a lot of hype, I'd say, about it, and we've all just finished watching it. We're going to chat about that film, and if we've got time, mention our top 3 Spielberg films, because obviously he's very seminal in the world. But generally speaking, this film, it's a huge film, and there's loads of positives, but it's quite lukewarm out there on the response, isn't there? It's not like Obsession, everyone loves. Backrooms, everyone loves. This one is quite divisive. Let's go to Peter first. What was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was literally this. The Fabelmans came out 4 years ago, so he had 4 years to go rewatch E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind, at least 100 times. Same thing with John Williams. He could have listened 100 times. Now, did we get any of that? Absolutely not. So I felt it was very off from typical expectations of Spielberg with sci-fi. I figured this would have been a little bit of a comeback for him, like one last hurrah, but I honestly thought The Fabelmans was better, and I wasn't blown away by that either, to be honest with you.
I watched The Fabelmans only this year. It's been ages. Like it's been quite expensive on like Prime and stuff. It's never been free. It still isn't free. And I just went, oh, sod it. I'll pay like £3 to watch it. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't amazing, but it was good.
Exactly.
Really good. Solid. So like whimsical, magical, adventure-y type thing, even though it was about his real life and stuff. I thought it was really good. But with this film, it should have been magical and not, I wouldn't say nostalgic, but nostalgic filmmaking from Spielberg, and it should have hit a bit harder. I thought it was very slow, but it did have a few magical elements. It just wasn't, I don't know, something didn't land. When we left the cinema, we weren't excited. We were all like, what?
Me, my brother and sister left like that too. We were like looking at each other. We all said it was okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I hated it or loved it, and it just hadn't sunk in yet. Drew, what was your first?
I keep thinking in my head, I wonder if this film dropped 5 years ago, would it be better? because I just feel like, I mean, something I found was a bit, the way the film starts essentially feels like we're in the middle of a film. And I thought it was going to catch up to that point, which I was quite excited about, but it never does. It just hits a moment where the same thing happens in the middle. You're like,
what was the beginning? It was still the beginning of the film, wasn't it? It wasn't
No,
middle.
but-
It was the beginning.
no, that's what I mean though. I thought it was like, we're going to catch up to that point, but it just does the same thing. So the stakes aren't high. It just matches the same stakes as the beginning.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Drew, actually. And I think the beginning should have been slashed entirely. Like, it should have started with Emily Blunt getting pulled over and start from there. Because that whole pullover and news sequence, that was great. That could have been the whole introduction to the movie. Instead, we got some half-ass ransom, kidnap, exchange scene.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that dangerous because, like, even I like Colin Firth, and I think he had a good menacing presence in this film. But
Yes.
you didn't feel like he was going to attack. He was just like, yeah, let him go. Like everything was just let him go. And it was very E.T. in that sense of like the bad guys weren't actually that scary, and it was kind of PG. Even though the film felt like it wasn't PG, it felt like it was darker, but it never actually did anything that wasn't a PG. But I mean. So people don't tune off early and go, oh, these guys are miserable. What was good bits? Because there were tons of good bits. Like you said about Emily Blunt, 100%, because the first trailer we saw was literally just Emily Blunt doing the...
Oh, yes. Same here.
And not much else. We didn't get much else. And we all went, oh, fuck, yeah, this looks great.
I was locked in with that.
Yeah, then they gave us 2 more trailers, which gave us the whole fucking premise and a bunch of wilderness animals and deers and stuff wandering around. Like, what the fuck are these animals about?
Yeah, it
I
was a
wish
bit.
they held off on those, and those could have been great surprises in the film. I felt like the trailers put every highlight into the trailer, and it was like, I got nothing to see.
I know.
I saw it already.
Yeah, because it felt like the car chases as well. Everyone was saying, apart from like a bit around the corner or to the end of a cliff, you'd seen all the best action moments pretty much. Obviously, apart from the train, is it me though, right? You know when they're on top of the car roof and they're trying to jump on the train? Did that not remind you of Minority Report?
Oh.
You know when he climbs on
Same
top?
director.
Yeah, he climbs on top of the car, like cruises on top of the car, and then it's like going off, and then it's about to fall off that building, and he has to jump off the roof of the car onto another vehicle, and then he runs across.
Yeah.
See, I feel this. Even when I tried to bring up a positive there, we've gone straight to negative.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No,
Okay,
that's
wait.
where I went.
So let's turn that into a positive then, because my friend did say he noticed a bunch of Spielbergisms in this cornucopia of Spielberg, and that might have been a thing he might have been thinking about, like the Minority Report. So maybe for some Spielberg diehards, maybe they got a good cornucopia of his history here.
Yeah. Here's the
lighting was
positive.
great.
Here's the positive. Minority Report is a brilliant film.
That is a phenomenal film.
I need to rewatch that.
That's how you do a film.
Invisible fire engines. Of course, it's going to be Spielberg. That was genius.
Yeah, that whole
That
concept.
was a good part.
That
was
moment
good.
was brilliant when she's holding the alien crystal thing and she's invisible, and they enter the warehouse and they're like, "Wait a minute, there's no one here." And then you can hear them like, "Shh, no, they're gonna find us." Shh, shh. And he's like, Colin Firth's like, "Shh, there's people talking." I thought we were going to see like the puddles move when they were walking, but we didn't get any of that. That would have been cool, but they didn't do puddle stuff.
You're right. Yeah, they didn't do any splash. Like you figure one or two
and
might
it's
have hit
wet
that.
floor. It's like wet floor, and they're all like, "We got to get out of here." But whatever you do, don't go through the puddles. But yeah,
This was disaster day. This wasn't disclosure day. I am swearing by this.
Even the good bits could have been better.
Yeah.
I think the editing saved the film, to be honest with you. Like, you're getting bored? Here we go.
Can you imagine what the director's cut would have been like? God, it sounds like it'd be so boring. It was a long film, and it felt like a long film. But yeah, I thought the ending was the saving grace, but then it ended in those. And I don't mind an ambiguous ending. I think it's really clever and poignant if you do it for a film that makes sense, where you go, "Oh, did they or didn't they do the thing?" But this was too open. There was no conclusion of any sort. And I felt it needed something more. Did you get the message that it was like, if the world has more empathy, we would survive? That's basically the message.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The caring for others. I quite liked that, the idea that she'd say something and say, go home to them, they need you, and da-da-da. And she'd have all these different like thoughts of trying to help other people. Because in life, we kind of have like blockades up. We're like, I'm fine, I'm good. And we don't really reveal what's going on. But the fact that Emily Blunt's character can see the concerns of others and try to help them, I thought that was really good. I thought it was ironic that the last line is, listen. And you're like, we've been doing that for 2 hours. Like,
yeah, fucking tell us.
Yeah, tell us, man. Like, what's going on? The next
2.5 hours.
It was so long.
It just,
like you said, the beginning sequence should grab you as well. Like the foot stomps of the wrestler. I was like, oh right, now we're getting to somewhere.
Right, we're in.
And as soon as we started chatting, like nothing happened for so long.
But also, I think
Josh O'Connor, I think, was wasted because he's a great actor and he does make some interesting choices. And I think he just heard the word Spielberg and said yes, because his character was boring.
It felt like it felt like two different films, though, right? It felt like Josh O'Connor was in like Eagle Eye, you know, the film with like Shia LaBeouf and what's her name?
Eagle Eye. No, I haven't heard that one.
Eagle Eye is really good, though. To be fair,
I'm gonna write it down though.
This is like this kind of sci-fi action thriller. And then I felt like Emily Blunt was in her own version of like Bruce Almighty, in a way, like with all the stuff going on with her. Like I kind of wanted that film for her rather than trying to bring that film into this one, because like she reminded me almost of Christopher Waltz's character in Inglourious Bastards, because she does so many different accents. Like it's such a performance from her, but it just feels like doesn't feel right in that film.
Oh my god, that's a great. They made a point on one of the interviews, but this is before the film came out, so there's no spoilers. And they made a big deal about Emily Blunt learning the clicks and stuff like that, and doing that live and recording it. You know, the backup for it and everything as well. But they never mentioned about the languages. Like, did she learn Korean? Well, obviously not learn Korean, but did she learn those phrases? Or did they AI her mouth, or what? Like,
and the same with Russian, because if you did learn it, I mean, it was incredible.
Oh my god,
even so fluent.
Everything.
But
my first reaction.
She stole the film for me, man. Like
I thought so. I mean, she was the gold of the film in terms of all the characters and actors. You could have just done the movie with her. And now, going off what you were saying about how you have Josh O'Connell's story and then you have her story, you don't need Josh O'Connell at all. Is a silly part about this film when you think about it. Like, he's a great actor. I love him. Don't get me wrong. But when you look at the story of Disclosure Day, the only relevance of him is the math talk.
Just a quick message to thank you all for listening to our show, whether it's through Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. If you are enjoying, why not follow? Click to subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Also, a reminder to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for fun clips from the show. We love and appreciate your support, and thanks for sharing us with friends. This helps us to grow, improve, and continue creating. Now, back to the conversation.
And it wasn't that significant when you really think about it.
He didn't do any math. Didn't do any. He just went, I'm good at math.
Where's the proof?
This. Oh, you don't need proof. Don't worry about it. I'm just
2 plus 2. 2 plus 2.
Yeah, so why did they just give Emily both powers? So we just had to go between these two, and it made no sense in the long run, to be honest with you, now that we're talking about it. Actually, this is a good conversation. Maybe this is a 2.5-star movie, actually.
Well, yeah, but then the
I'm
film...
going to bump this down now, actually.
Oh, gosh. But then I was going to say the film would be half as long. It would be like 45 minutes. They've
exactly.
put in all the Josh O'Connell.
Give us some more aliens. Give us some actual aliens.
Hey, give me original aliens, like Independence Day. At least we had an original design. These were just the basic Roswell aliens. Even that last alien in the last scene, I thought that was going to be E.T. because it was shaped like this.
Yeah,
shaped
behind
like
the glass, and it was making his head even. I mean, it was big, but it made it even bigger.
I
thought
was
if that
so
cut-
amped that
Yeah.
would be the full 360 of E.T. and Disclosure Day all these years later. No,
Mic
we
drop.
didn't even get that. It
Yeah.
was just a basic alien who stood up and did nothing.
That's what's annoying. I didn't even realize that's what annoyed me. But the fact that the aliens were the aliens we've seen since the 50s in
Yeah.
those diagrams, create a new alien, give us something
Nothing original.
different.
Or if his
Anything.
finger lit up. If it's finger lit up.
Yeah, just anything.
That would
Look,
have been
hints
amazing.
to something.
It's E.T.'s family.
But we needed
Cereal.
we needed half an hour to an hour of aliens at the end doing something. There needed to be something.
I thought there'd be a great battle. No, and same thing. Oh, let's just do it. Even the second in command, he didn't shoot Emily. He just says, okay, and he left.
Yeah, I think
It
that's
was
the
the
problem.
weakest finale I could think of, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The villains were so wet because at one point he's turning to, like, you know, that last kind of 10 minutes where they're going to shut down the whole system, and he's like, you go here, and this kind of like SWAT team are going to different places, shutting everything down. You're like, oh, they're not going to be able to tell the truth, which we can't hear anyway. And then it shuts down, and then the guy's like, he points the gun and goes, let's turn it back on. And then you've got the Colin Firth's character like, nah, I'm good. And he just pulls up a seat and he's like, might as well watch it.
Well, remember back early in the film, like
that's all it was.
they were struggling to find Josh O'Connor, and the army were involved, going, right, we're getting a SWAT team together and all this sort of stuff. And Colin Firth was like, no, let me handle it. And he walked off. Didn't secure that position. He just went, let me handle it. Like, it wasn't that, like, they could have still been, that could have been a good storyline. Like, will Colin Firth get to them first? We know he's the bad guy, but he's not going to hurt them. He just wants to stop the thing. And the army get into him. They know they're going to kill him and just do a shoot up. Like, two bad forces. That would have been more exciting than the two good people. You know what I mean? That could have been the back and forth. Is the bad guys going to get them or not?
The other thing, when he says, I tried to enter into Josh's character's mind, and he goes, was he a defender or whatever it's called? Like the idea that he can...
Explorer.
An experiencer. Yeah,
Yes, that's it.
yeah, you can't enter him. So I thought that's a bit of a cop-out, because then he's like, oh, well, I'll just go for his girlfriend, who is not an experiencer. And then there's that whole bit where... That was quite cool, though, when he took over her body and she had, like, they gave her different eye contact lenses and
Great
she was
idea.
struggling.
She was doing the cross that feels something.
Or to try and break out of the spell that she was under, but it was still felt a bit... And then when she goes, tie me up in the hotel, but then she uses her foot to see where they're at in the hotel, so that didn't really help anyway. So it's kind of like, just don't bring your girlfriend, because now she's...
She said, you can't trust me.
You can't trust me, but just come to the hotel anyway. Because
when he arrived, didn't he start tearing things off of everything so that she couldn't see any of the addresses?
Yeah, apart from the one holding in his hand when he fell asleep, which is the most important one of telling him where he is. Who falls asleep?
Even him.
He
He could have just crossed it out before even getting it, too. Like, he should have been a little aware, like they...
See, this is the problem. My friend who's a screenwriter, Eddie, he was always saying you can have like one or two coincidences, but as soon as everything becomes coincidences, you start to see the plot falling apart because it's too like put together. Do you know what I mean? He falls asleep with a map. She sees the map. He is in her head. He sees the map. I know where to get them. I know where they are. It's kind of like it was a bit too... Everything felt too easy, but then every time the villains came in, they were too wet to do anything.
They weren't
Like,
too bad.
he needed to make that an R-rated film or a PG. It needed to be a family-friendly or full-blown
Dark.
violence and the end of the world's happening and all this, the world could collapse type thing. It was just... The stakes were so low, but they kept going. The stakes are so high. No, they weren't. Plus, think about the reality, as in, do you remember that thing we had a few years ago, maybe about 6 years ago, called the global pandemic? If that was in a film, everyone would be murdering each other on the streets. It'd be a horror film. When it actually happens in real life, everyone just goes and sit home and watches Netflix all day. This film is that. In reality, if someone showed me some aliens on the TV, we'd go, great, what's for TV? What's for dinner? You know, who gives a shit?
I saw a reaction video. My sister said the same thing after, like, what would be people's reactions nowadays? And I think since the news and AI is so flimsy and fake these days, you can't tell what is what anymore. It's like Jane's Addiction. Nothing shocking. That was the whole point of that album title. actually, but now it's more real than ever, that title.
There'd just be arguments between people going, they're real. No, they're not. And that would be the argument. But like, even a couple of years ago, didn't Trump or someone say aliens are real? We have evidence of aliens. And no one really cared. It was like headlines and thingy from Blink-182 who studies them and stuff. Tom DeLonge, didn't he say that they'd got proof that UFOs exist and these are real things? And the whole world now knows they are real. Not these little men, not these little green men, but they have evidence of things entering our space that no one can prove and the army can't prove, and it's not potential. There's a real something has happened, whatever it might be.
There was definitely some like naval footage, like in the movie. There was like black and white Navy footage of seeing UFOs. I mean, they did disclose or release, UFO kind of videos like that. But you're right, Kevin. Like a lot of people just didn't have interest. My friend does have sincere interest in it, but I told him, I'm like, dude, we all known about this for a while. It's just been soft disclosure over 5 decades, I feel like, to be honest with you. Every 5 years, we get a little bit more. See,
the irony is I just said all that as well, and both of you were looking at me like, whatever.
Yeah, we know it.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
But it's like Area 51 and all that stuff. It feels like stuff we already know because, like you're saying, it's not, or it's stuff you've seen. Like X-Files did it better. Let's be honest, right?
Mm-hmm. Ryan Coogler, X-Files. That is going to be 10 times better.
That is going to be something.
And didn't you hate the fact, like, it's sometimes funny when you see it in films where you go, there it happened. But when they said, it's disclosure day, it's like, no.
Oh, when they can bring a title into
Oh my God, the news anchor towards the end at Rockefeller Plaza. I'm like, just say we're not alone. Just say we're not alone. Instead, we're just getting this dragged out. And then she finally says it. 5 minutes later, it's like, wow, we saw that coming.
Yeah.
One of the funniest parts for me is, you know the dude that's like running he's like one of the anchors or something, and he's the guy with the gray hair, and they start talking to him. He goes, "Why am I doing all this for you?" Like,
they are kind of brainwashed, though, aren't they? When she
no,
speaks
I know,
to
but
them.
it's so funny because like, what the hell's going on, and why am I doing this? Yeah, in this room here, and it's kind of like he's saying all the stuff that the audience is thinking, like, why the fuck is all this happening, and why are they doing all this?
It's like PG obsession.
But it's also like
obsession.
It's like characters trying to explain the plot in what they're doing. Like, why am I under your control? Why am I helping you open this door that you need?
Speaking of under control, so I thought Project Hail Mary was definitely better than Disclosure Day for comparing recent sci-fi films. But here's the thing that both of them have in common. How come both magical alien items look the same? Like in Project Hail Mary, it's a messenger, for Ryan and the alien. But in this movie, it looks exactly the same, but it's for human power or to control a human.
What message? What do you mean? In Project Hail Mary, what do you mean?
Remember there was in the beginning when the alien starts talking to him, Rocky starts talking to Ryan, and in the beginning, they're passing like this bottle back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
The bottle looks exactly the same as the
same shape, yeah.
Yeah. So is this another clue that we're getting closer to Disclosure Day?
Again, if someone told me there was aliens tomorrow, it doesn't affect my life unless they're shooting a place up. And let's be frank, no offense, because you're American, but apparently aliens only attack America in Washington, D.C. anyway, so we don't give a shit.
We're good. We're safe. We're safe.
No such thing as aliens anywhere else in the world except for America over Republican states, apparently. So...
Now, that's the thing that pisses me off about this film the most, actually, is there is still no explanation or imaginary explanation as to why aliens would come to Earth. All we have is Amazon and a bunch of warehouses. What do you want? What do you want?
They want Bezos.
Give us something. Why are you here?
Not for intelligence, is it?
No, definitely not.
Is it me, though? Or did they brush over the fact that 2 young children were abducted by aliens, and they just made it all like nice, like, don't worry, they come as animals, so they're not intimidating. Well, yeah, you're like a little.
What did they do?
And they're beaming you up they're probing you in a spaceship and giving you powers, and you're like, but they look like the animals of Farthing Wood. You're like, What?
It would have been a whole lot difficult if it was E.T. fucking fisting a little boy. That would have been that. That's where they would have lost that rating.
That would have been a real 80s movie, though.
That's a glowing fist because it's just a finger. You'd think what the whole fist would do. That's
E.T. going
brutal.
home. But don't you think there's a real mix in this film of people being underused and overused? Like like you were saying before, Peter, the woman at the end, the newscaster, genuinely standout performance because, yeah, it was a bit lame in a weird way, but she had genuine emotion. It felt like it was a genuine reaction to something catastrophic and traumatizing, and it was believable. And that was the feeling I left, was like, oh my God, that was quite good at the end. And then 10 minutes later you go, oh no, I was just hoodwinked by their acting. The acting was so real.
Yeah.
And apparently she's a real newscaster who's started doing acting.
Oh,
wow.
Pat Battle, I think her name is, actually.
Oh, really?
Are you talking about the African-American lady in the control room? Because she's a real news anchor,
At
actually.
the very end, who was doing the actual news
when they
presenting.
were sharing the stuff.
Oh, that lady. No, I'm thinking about someone in the control room who actually is a real news anchor in America, actually.
Oh, really?
In New York at 30 Rockefeller Plaza, like in the movie. Yeah, that's Pat Battle that I'm talking about. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the woman at the end that did most of the talking. And I think brilliant. You've given an unknown or a newbie or whatever a big platform there. Fantastic. But that would have... Why is Emily Blunt doing nothing at that stage?
True.
Last 20 minutes was just her talking about it.
That's the other thing that doesn't make sense.
It was a crescendo that Emily Blunt should have been part of. Like, she was underused there.
Or narrating it. That's the thing I was confused by, because why is she now mic'd up? They've done her hair and everything, and she just stands there while a different person talks us through all of the videos that her potential brother is uploading.
And the alien doesn't even speak to her. The alien speaks to Josh O'Connell because we need to give him something to do.
Yeah.
Finally. 2.5 hours later, the real use of Josh.
What I'm just realizing now is the kind of Mary Poppins moment when the red bird goes through the window and whistles.
And she plays Mary Poppins, yeah.
And she plays Mary Poppins. That's the alien going, and then it's like, by the way, you're now going to talk like us.
That was active. Have you both seen Naked Gun, the original Naked Gun?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically that for O.J. Simpson, you know, when they get the little thing and the football players become assassins to try and kill the Queen. That's Bird is an alien coming to go, Emily Blunt, you can now be a freak. See you later.
You can now be a freak.
Now, going back to her being a freak, I think when she speaks Russian is the most hysterical part for me seeing the film yesterday, because my first reaction was, oh, Thunderbolts 2. There's Captain America next. That's not Florence Pugh. We get Emily Blunt. Okay, that works. I would have taken Thunderbolts 2 easily with Emily Blunt over Disclosure.
And that scene trying to break the phone felt like it took too long. Like, and you talk about editing.
Oh my God. And unrealistic too, I think.
I was like,
personally.
why does it matter that you just
actually that was one of my favourite bits of the film.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. It's raining. She's having a go at him. She has to get out the car, put it in front of the wheel because he can't run it over.
And then he runs it over and she goes and stamps on it. Stamp on it.
Just stamp on it. That is the moral of the story, guys.
I still think cars could break him like that, to be honest with you. That's what wasn't believable for me, to be honest with you. I think a car can run over that and not crack it still, to be honest, these days, I think.
I believe that as well. I'm not going to test it, but if you're spending... how much is a mobile phone now? £1,200?
Probably.
I think.
It's going to survive.
I forgot, yeah. I think, well, the thing is she had the case, too. That's what made it really unbelievable. So it's like you had this extra layer. Even though it's a small bump, it's still a bump to protect it still. Like,
yeah. And
they should have been in a tank. That's what was wrong. They should have stolen a tank and then gone over the mobile.
That would be proper Spielberg, wouldn't it? Like over-the-top shit.
Or a helicopter, something fun.
They're like, we need to hijack a vehicle. Really strong one to break this mobile.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was one of the most unbelievable scenes, and one of the best scenes in the whole movie is when Josh O'Connell was on that farm trying to get to his lady, and to me it was so unbelievable that no one could see this guy coming up through a field, cracking straw, like he's walking on broken glass, and then he gets a car, and he's still able to get out of that nonsense.
But he drives a car into a house that, if you look at it, is on a hill.
Oh no, he
way
goes into a tree
flat.
first, and he still gets out of it.
that house is no way flat, but it'll be on stilts or something. There's no way it's just driving flat in and flat out of it.
Well, that's a good point, Kevin. He could have just gone flat like
his
that.
girlfriend. He's like, drive through a house, park up, get her, jump in, drive through.
He could have killed her. He doesn't know where she's sitting.
True.
And when he flies out the other end, he drops like 6 foot from the house.
I thought they were going to do a cool thing where as it comes out of the other side of the building, there was going to be the moon, and it was a bit like E.T. with the bike. Like,
that was probably the best part of the film is the emblem logo coming after Universal Studios. It's like, oh, and here's Spielberg.
I was going to say that because the Amblin logo at the very beginning is new. It's different, isn't it? It was like a really big close-up. You could tell it was
only
E.T.
second time they've done that. Fableman's was the first. This was the second time they've done that. But I was like, I always love when they do it because they are a powerhouse, those two, since Jaws.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other person, I'd say pretty much everyone else was under. I mean, it's Emily Blunt's film. That's it. I think everyone else does not matter. Maybe Colin Firth in a second, but like Eve Hewson, Bono's daughter. She's brilliant, and she's in loads of amazing stuff, more series than films.
Oh, that's Bono's daughter?
She's amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
Josh O'Connell.
She does look the same like him, actually, now that you mention it.
And she put in a good accent because she's very Irish. And she's just incredible. And she was good in the bits in the car, but that was it. After that, it was pointless her being there. And like Drew was saying, it was stupid that she was in that hotel room. Once he knew she was corruptible, she should have been ditched. She was ditched too late.
Yes.
But then, doesn't she save the day though as well? Because I remember her coming into the newsroom, or at some point she gives someone something.
He chucks her at the motel with the last alien item.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. And then it's almost like they're playing a really big version of like Pass the Baton in this whole 2-hour film.
Remember, no one knows where they're going. Josh O'Connell doesn't know where he's going. Emily Blunt doesn't know where they're going. They've just got instincts and things that makes them go, oh, we should do this. And then Eve Hewson just arrives at the correct place at the correct time. Why does she?
Yeah, because she's not an alien. She doesn't have the same. Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point.
It doesn't make any sense.
What is the thing where they jump on a train that just happens to be carrying pianos because that's connected to her past? Do you notice that?
Was piano?
She has a panic attack. She has a panic attack.
I thought it was just an easy way to get John Williams to have a scene.
He says, hold on to the strings of the piano because it's sensory, because it will take away from the panic attack. But then when you look at the flashbacks when she's a little girl, there's a piano in her room. Or am I just overthinking it?
That might be a connector, and now that you're mentioning it, that is a good point. I did feel like it was just an easy way to not only calm her down, but also keep music going, because I felt like John Williams was pretty pocketed, in my opinion, in this film. I didn't hear a lot of music the whole film, to be honest with you, when I think back to it.
It's like
and if
subtle
I did,
build-up. Like
it was very subtle, too. Yeah, it wasn't like iconic. There was...
It's more like just like,
Subtle Williams.
Yeah, Diet Williams.
Diet Williams.
But as well, like Wyatt Russell, why was he in the film? Put an unknown actor if he's going to do that little. Put an unknown actor. So again, he's great. What is he doing?
Yeah, just underused. Yeah.
They're an unrealistic couple.
Yeah,
very unrealistic. And the saddest part was the end when you see him again. It's like, did we need to see him? Like, like it was pointless.
Yeah, and Coleman Domingo. He's brilliant and everything, and that could have been a longer part. He could have been a bigger impact in the film as well, I think.
I think I've just hit the nail on the head. The reason why it doesn't work is it's the concept that everyone knows something that nobody else knows, but they think they know. Do you know what I mean? That's the film, because Colo Domingo's character, he's saying, don't worry, you know. And they're like, but we don't know. But you will know. And that's the film in a weird way. No, but do you know what I mean, though? It literally is that. They discover things, because at one point she dials Josh's character and says, are you such and such? And he's like, yeah, who the hell is this? She's like, I don't know, but I know you and you're in trouble and they're coming for you. Do you remember that bit where she knows everything and she says,
yeah,
you can't go back to the house. She's going to kill you. And he's like, who the fuck are you? It's like, don't worry. We're probably related. We'll find that out in the third act, but just don't go there. She's trying to kill you. Like, what?
I bet, here's the funniest part though. I bet Josh O'Connell, when he held Emily's hand, he was like, oh, is this going to be a simulation of something cool?
They're going to build something like in Ghost. They're like, are we going to build?
Exactly. A sexy seance.
But this,
I would have taken Ghost 2 over this, to be honest with you.
but I think this is. I mean, I don't know if you can get nominated for a performance in a kind of sci-fi thriller, right?
Yeah.
But I think Emily Blunt's performance, her panic attack hit me, man. I started crying when she was having a panic attack and she says, I can't breathe.
That was intense.
I honestly thought she was going to die then for something. I was like, whoa, like, I know she's been through a lot, but shit, man, if she dies on a train carriage, that's hardcore. But yeah, her performance was, she carries this whole film without a doubt.
Yeah, if she wasn't in it.
I think if you literally take her out, this goes down to like half a star, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, she's almost
She's
done
the
like,
only golden actor, or only one doing a Spielberg level of acting, I feel like.
yeah.
Like, she was the only one that got it. I'm in a Spielberg film. I have to go all out.
Well, Coleman Domingo, he's amazing. Those two are incredible because considering how much lack of screen time he has, his presence and his character is the most interesting by far. And we hardly know anything about him, and he doesn't really get to do much, but he's brilliant in every scene.
Now, isn't it funny that he has the same kind of character in The Running Man, where he's the coordinator behind the stage?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All these things in this movie are just like hybrids, I feel like, almost now. The Project Hail Mary, The Running Man, I don't know. It's like a Minority Report, like you said. This is a cornucopia of a lot of things in this film, I feel like.
Coleman Domingo needs some more like main roles. Like if he was Josh O'Connor's, I think it might have been a bit different, a bit more interesting, actually. You know, nothing wrong with Josh O'Connor. It just wasn't right for him.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good guy, but wasn't his film.
But it also, do you know what I mean? It felt like two different films that they were trying to put together. Like,
Yes.
That's why I said about the Bruce Almighty kind of Emily Blunt thing, and the kind of eagle eye for Josh.
I do love that they did, like, again, it's Spielberg doing Spielberg stuff, so you can't not like it, I guess. But did you notice quite a few times there was that shimmering light going horizontally across?
Yes.
They had a few times at the beginning and in the house, and it was like I thought I was the only one that saw it for a second, and I was like, ooh, and then all of a sudden I was like, this is a sequel. And then I read afterwards, it's got nothing to do with it. I was like, this is Close Encounters of a Third Kind, where the little girl goes, this is what it is. Has anyone else noticed? I'm so smart. No, it's not.
I think that's also the problem. We tried to find other things in it that weren't there, that we were hoping was going to be the reveal, and go, oh,
well, me and Peter thought E.T. was coming at the end.
Where was E.T.?
Whatever it was, like we're hoping to find Easter eggs connected to one of his greatest, but it's not. It's just an
or even
amalgamation.
the Close Encounters theme, like that music, like like could have thrown that in for fun.
Yeah, if they put like music as more of a big thing, because I thought they were going to do something out with the animals and stuff as well. There's going to be like a music. Someone talks about music in the film as well at one point, which I thought harked back to Close Encounters again.
I was hoping that the animals were actually animals, but the aliens were able to talk through them as well. And there was going to be an empathetic element to why we have animals on the planet, and be like, oh, that's profound. Like the aliens are talking to the animals, and the animals are trying to explain to us that there are aliens.
Or
I've always had that feeling, to be honest with you.
That's what I was hoping when I first saw the trailer and saw like the reindeer with the antlers and then the little birds on there and then the foxes and stuff. But now it just reminds me of that new beer advert where the guy's on the motorboat and all the foxes are driving. Have you seen that? Have you seen that beer ad?
No.
I have.
Cruz Campo or something, this new beer. And there's a guy drinking a beer in the back of this boat, rocking. And there's a fox driving the boat, and he's just like, yeah, man, cool. And all the other foxes are there, and there's a fox playing a harmonica. Like it's mental.
But the irony is, the fox in the film, they see a fox and they go, oh, and she goes, don't worry, it's just a fox.
Yes. But he said, all my life they've stared at me so strangely. It's like, that's probably because they saw you get abducted by aliens, and they're worried about you, man.
Like, where have you been, and why are you back now? But I think that was my biggest beef of the film too, is like, you have so many good animal trainers in 2026, especially on social media. It's easy to find animal trainers, did we really need the animals in CGI? It just made it more unbelievable, the film, to be honest with you. For the shots that the animals were in, you could have used real animals. I'm not sure why they didn't use real animals in this film.
I've seen crows like talk and go, oh, wow, amazing, and like things like that. You have real birds doing that. Like you're saying, I'm sure they could train a bird to jump in, come down on a table, and do a little dance.
The 90s had that all the time, shots like that with birds.
And then just jump out the window again. Like it's. But you're right. I think the CGI just. Again, I feel we're more intelligent now as an audience. Before, again, if I said like this was 20 odd years ago, we might be fooled by the CGI. But we've become so aware through like, how technology and things have advanced so much. We can see flaws in things. We can see the holes or something that's not quite realistic enough. Or because there was that whole thing with the Punisher. Did you hear about this weird CGI moment where he falls into the roof?
Oh, that was bad.
That went
it fell off
viral or something, and they're saying, why on earth this cost millions? Why would they do something like this? And they're saying, no, but it was a real stunt guy. Like we'll show you the like ropes that the guy did when he jumped off. And it's like how we're looking into finding the faults in things because it takes us, if something takes us out of the film, we're going to say something. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it was a shot that wasn't even needed in The Punisher as well, like because it's all over the top anyway. So you expect CGI. That's not the bad thing, but it did look really budget when he fell. Like, just do a different angle, do something.
100%.
Don't do the shit angle
from a different side. Have a stunt guy fall and then roll off, and then carry on with the actor.
Yeah,
like, it didn't. Yeah,
it's like that Apex film with Charlize Theron when she's falling down the river at the beginning. It's in just what is it like? Just bounce around for fucking ages. We didn't need to see all that, or do a different angle, or do close up on her face and just loads of trees hitting her, whatever. It just looks so bad.
That's a good point. I feel like some people do longer shots just because they think it's going to be better if it's longer. And I think that was like with this movie too. There were some shots or conversations that went longer than they needed. And hey, man, it's 2026 now. We're a little bit more.
Spielberg made the point. He goes, "What was it?" He said today in a clip. He goes, "Well, we live in a wonder, so I try and do lots of wonders because people appreciate the wonders." And it was showing clips of like Jurassic Park, like even the boring bits when they walk into the lab at the first time and see the eggs. That's the whole. That's not like a big action sequence wonder. That's just a basic having a conversation wonder and revealing things casually.
But it is still a magical scene, though, because of that egg cracking at the end of it. That is what he still gets it going for everyone, I feel like.
Yeah, it was an exciting moment with a culmination and, conclusion of something exciting, whereas the long shots here were just people talking for a bit longer than they should have been.
I feel like with sci-fi, you've got to be so careful now because it's been done to death. It's almost going into zombie territory. You know what people go, if I see another zombie film, it's like the idea that you need to come up with entirely new concepts. Otherwise, as an audience, we're ahead of you and we go, we've seen this. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the problem. We've been blessed with so many amazing sci-fi films that to go, we got a sci-fi film. You're like, is it like this film, this film, this film, this film, this film? It's like, it's already been done. So unless you really push the boat out and take us to a literal another planet, like they did in Project Hail Mary, it's so hard to. And that's the other thing. It didn't feel sci-fi apart from the weird crystal thing of jumping into different. It felt more like Talk to Her, but with an alien crystal. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Talk to me. Sorry, I always say talk to her. Talk to me, because it's all based in America. There's no like space stuff. Even the aliens come here. There's like, where's the planet they're on? Like, we didn't leave. Even though it was a sci-fi, we're still in a very normal world where everyone's scrolling and on their phones. So it didn't feel. Do you know what I mean?
There was no next level, I guess. Like, you felt like there was going to be some kind of elevation, or what's tomorrow after Disclosure Day, maybe. Like, that would be kind of a better idea for a movie, the day after finding out about aliens. That would have been a way cooler idea.
It's basically like Emily Blunt's
hell breaks loose.
Emily Blunt's husband doing Quiet Place and then going to do Day One. That was exciting. That was a good film. That was good progression. But what you guys are saying there is exactly what I was just about to say as well, is that this film was a journey to a conclusion that was weak.
Yes.
And I didn't enjoy the journey because I was waiting for the conclusion, which never really satisfied. Whereas Project Hail Mary, the ending was irrelevant. The journey was so joyful. Wherever it ended, we would have liked it.
Yeah.
It just happened to be a good ending as well. Whereas Disclosure Day failed on both levels. I just wanted to get to the ending, and the ending was dragging.
But also the stakes were huge in Project Hail Mary, because even though, you know, we care about Sandra Hüller's character, she is almost a villain, but the stakes are so high that she has to do something unprecedented and horrible to his character. And so it feels like there's more tension, actually. This is a good point. There's more tension when Ryan Gosling is running for his life when they're trying to inject him in the whole of Disclosure Day, because the tension isn't there.
It was funny and it was like scary at the same
Yeah,
time.
but when they're trying to rugby tackle him and running through the thing, it was tense, man. Whereas all of the chase sequences, they felt so diluted. Because even the bit where, oh my God, when they get to the end of the cliff and she goes, pass me a rock, because obviously they're near a cliff, so there's plenty of rocks. And she puts it on the gear thing, so it on the accelerate, so it goes over the edge. And they do that typical cliche of, oh, they must have drowned and gone off. But they're hidden behind the rock.
Yeah,
so
2 foot away.
Yeah, most people go, why don't we check the area? Because people try to create decoys.
A lot of unbelievable sequences in this film, the more we're talking about this.
Yeah, and Project Hail Mary straddled absurdity, comedy, and real jeopardy, whereas this failed on all 3 levels. It was never that great jeopardy, and because what's the worst that could happen? The world finds out a little secret.
That's funny. So now to lasso everything that was just said, like we were talking about simpler CGI, or the fact that Project Hail Mary had different, premise altogether. Yeah, practical effects, more practical effects, that's for sure. I feel like when I left the movie theater, my movie theater has all the old posters of classic films. The first one was Independence Day walking out of the theater yesterday. And I said, that was the ultimate Disclosure Day of all time.
Oh,
and
my
it's
God.
so ironic. It was always there, even before Disclosure Day, just in that hallway. But here it was walking out. I'm like, that's it. And going back to Project Hail Mary, I feel like Men in Black, a year or 2 after Independence Day, comedy, disclosure, the whole orchestrated media thing.
All these films I would watch multiple times. I'm never going to watch this film again.
Same. And they were 30 years ago. So it's like, guys, you had 30 years.
It's
Can
not
we get
got a
something better?
rewatchability to it, has it? But Men in Black, I could watch that tonight and I know I'll enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That was a grand one. I had that on VHS every day almost. I remember that in theaters, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
One of the kind of darker tones, and maybe this is just how I was looking into it, but the way that they were torturing the aliens felt very much stuff that's going on behind the scenes in different countries, where they'll torture different people to get information, and the way that they were treating the aliens in that. And then when you saw the bodies of the aliens getting put into things, that reminded me of stuff that was going on in like Gaza, and the idea that there is horrendous acts happening, but they're being hidden from us. And that was the only thing I could see comparison-wise with how the media is holding back information from us about horrendous things that are happening. And that was the only thing I could take from a link of going, why are you releasing this now as a film?
Is this an analogy for the Earth? No aliens, but illegal aliens, or
and aliens in the sense that we detach ourselves from those poor people in Gaza, because there is a detachment, like they're not part of us, like they are aliens in comparison. And then when you saw those horrendous things happening, that was the thing that was hitting me, like, holy shit, the fact that they're disclosing information about lives that seem alien to us because of how the media and the governments are creating this detachment through these countries and separating.
We felt an emotion towards the end because of doing that to an entity we don't know or understand. It's lower down the pecking order than animals for an earthling, and we've got emotion for that. But no one cares that children are getting bombed to smithereens, 100 miles down the road.
And this is exactly why it hit me hard. because it was like the idea for me, it was like disclosing information that things are going on that we are alien to because of how the government and the media are manipulating things.
Oh, we're aliens for two reasons. One, we're the only animal on this earth that walks and talks like we do. And secondly, we're the only animal that some reason drinks milk and cheese after we're babies. So I'm not vegan, but just an observation. But we are weird.
We are a weird animal, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And people
We're
need to
some
remember,
kind of hybrid, I think, at the end of the day.
yeah, and we are animals, yeah. But I mean, you hear like the budget on this was quite big as well, and they said that they made 44 million on the opening weekend.
Yikes.
It needs to clear 300 million to make a profit, because they spent like 117 on it plus about 100 on marketing. So with all the other costs involved, if they need to break 300, and obviously the sentiment out there after the first weekend is so varied that it's not dragging people to the audience, whereas like Obsession was low and people got excited, and they just said that this is the fourth weekend in a row a film has got more people through the cinema doors than the week before, which is never happened ever, full stop.
Not four. Yeah, three's rare to begin with. But four, I don't think that's ever been done. Like you said, I saw it the opening week. I want to say it was full house. Front row was sold.
Yeah,
I loved it. I think it was a little extreme, but I get why it was trying to be extreme, like Hereditary or the original Carrie. You all need those films once in a while.
Yeah.
But acting, the lady, I forgot her name, the actress, but she won me over, to be honest with you.
Indy Navarrete, yeah. And Backrooms is even busier. They're the busiest I've seen the cinema this year. Those two films.
Same. It was sold out to the wall to wall. It was in the big
they
theater
destroyed
too when I
Star
saw
Wars,
Backrooms.
guys. So unfortunately, I don't hold out much hope for Disclosure Day, because it feels like those guys are dominating the box office.
Well, yeah, Obsession's on 287 million.
That's nuts.
They're about to break 300 million, which is what Obsession needs to break even. And they'll be on 99% profit.
Holy shit. Yeah, my friend the other night, I see him like once a month, this guy, and he was like talking to me. He's like, oh yeah, me and some others are going to see Obsession. I'm like, dude, that was like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But that's
like
a perfect example.
Yeah.
But Pete, that's a perfect example. The fact that there's still a buzz 4 weeks later that people go, it's the biggest word of mouth I've ever seen. And those One Wish Willows are taking the world by storm, like sold out. And now you've got other companies trying to make their own version of them to sell them. So it's
they should have had the messenger bottle from Project Hail Mary and Disclosure Day in that one for the Wish.
Do you think a film like that shouldn't be in the cinema 4 weeks later? Most of these small films are 2 weeks in and out. Like, what was it? Mother Mary, one with...
Hokum too.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hokum. Yeah, the Anne Hathaway one, Mother Mary. I wanted to go and see that. It was in the cinema about a week and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to see it.
Yeah, it's now on Prime. Or
I missed that new, what's his name? The guy who plays Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman.
The Sheep Detectives.
Oh, yeah.
Same. I'd like to see that.
I missed it. And that had hype too. Same thing. Like it was verbal hype all of a sudden that got it going.
I'm quite happy to watch that at home, though. That feels like a Sunday afternoon on the sofa type film, but I would have seen it in the cinema if I had a chance as well.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed I missed that.
Well, I said to Kev, like Hokum, I think at my cinema in Odeon in Brighton, they only had two showings, and one was a week before and one was like a week after, because I literally said to Kev, if I don't go and see it tonight, I won't get to see it in the cinema. And he was like, what? But and when I spoke to the guy and said, this was the only showing I could see, and he said, yeah, they're just taking it out of the cinema. And I was like, what? It's been out for like 2 weeks. Like, what is going on?
There's a load of weird shit. Like Michael has just appeared on Prime. I know it's like 16 quid. It's not cheap. But it hasn't hit 1 billion yet, and it's about to hit 1 billion. Doing that will affect people going to the cinema. They should have just left it, because it's still getting massive numbers every week. Well, repeat viewings as well.
It's still selling. You're right.
That was the rumor with Obsession. Originally, it was going to be released on Prime on the 2nd of June, and like streaming platforms, but because it performed so well, they went, "Fuck that!" Like,
Mate,
keep it.
Curry Barker didn't know what to do with the film. He was actually just going to release it for free on YouTube.
Wow.
That was the initial plan. He was just like, well, what do I do with this? And before they got it bought, they're like, should you? Because he does everything on YouTube, and he would have made money from YouTube. He might have made more money on YouTube for himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's made more money for a production company now.
Yeah, because I wondered how much of the 300 million would Curry see.
They got 15 million. They got bought for 15 million. So however they divvy that up.
Oh, okay. So that's what he's Happy Days, and then they just okay. Well,
I don't know how much. I don't know how it works on that side.
but he's going to go on strength for strength. His next film, there is so much hype already for Anything But Ghosts that people are going to lose their minds.
He said he's going to link it into the same universe.
Yeah.
As well, which is a good idea if you're a small filmmaker and you've got some quirky ideas. Even if it's an outlier, like a complete different place, there's a connection that just
I heard
makes
there's a
people
rumor
excited.
that someone's going to talk about a triple homicide connected to a girl and a wish is the whole point with the Anything But Ghosts, which is obviously going to be Nicky's character. But that's clever because he's creating like a Tarantino verse, because like loads of his films are interconnected. So,
and it doesn't have to be massively obvious sometimes. Sometimes just little Easter eggs that makes people who really like the film a little bit more excited and chat more.
Spielberg, you should have put Easter eggs in your disclosure Easter egg.
Could have had E.T., could have had the Close Encounters theme.
But I think that's the problem, because he's made so many great movies. We were hoping one of them would have like a kind of origin into Disclosure Day.
Oh, you could have had Jaws as one of the animals.
Yeah. They
a
kept an
shark
aquarium.
comes out. A shark comes out
Exactly.
and a bird
They
comes
could've
out of
made
the
that
shark's
happen.
mouth.
Mate, I watched Hoppers the other day. Have you seen Hoppers, that Pixar film?
I heard good things.
No,
Loads
I
of
don't really do animation these days, to be honest.
Loads of little talking beavers. Well,
Right.
there's a scene where birds go into the water and pick up a great white shark and fly it above a mountain where it chats to someone in a car. I was like, I mean, I was okay at talking
I've had
beavers.
some drugs, but man.
Now you've lost me.
Yeah.
There's some strong birds that can carry that. That is.
Before we wrap
Strong
up,
acid shit.
scary movie, by the way, box office, just because it's relevant at the moment. That had a budget of 30 million. And I know it's dropped off a cliff. No one's going to see it anymore. But it had a big
I have no
opening
desire.
weekend. 175 million it got. So they don't give a fuck. They're all right.
Yeah, they're
For
good.
comedy in this day and age, that's tremendous, actually.
It was number one. It's currently number one in the box office. Scary movie.
Yes, in America this week, I mean, obviously Disclosure was one, but two was Obsession, which still blew my mind. And it's beating Backrooms now, which is still blowing my mind. I prefer Backrooms personally, but yeah, Obsession's just, I don't know, it's become a unicorn of its own.
Yeah. Well, what's people's three favorite Spielbergs? Where would you go for your top three?
Ooh, great question.
I could
How
go off.
How about none of us can say Jaws?
Ooh,
It's not on my top three. No, Jaws, no. I got my top three. I'm ready to go on this one.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can nail this down. All right. Close Encounters of the Third Kind at number 3 for me personally. The music is one of John Williams' best, not just the sequence at the end, but the whole build-up. And unlike this movie, Disclosure Day, I feel like all the stories at least build up into something towards the end. And for me personally, I saw that in theaters as a re-release in like middle school, so that was like epically loud and big, the whole thing. So it always stuck with me ever since, but that's my third. But 2 and 1 is almost a dead tie, but it's the same year, 93. Schindler's List and Jurassic Park. You know, I'm going to go Schindler's List for 2 because it's not something I want to watch every day. I only watched it once because I don't need to watch it twice because it's so scary.
Imagine that as a crossover: Schindler's List and Jurassic Park.
No, Schindler and Disclosure Day saving the aliens. Now that would have been saving grace. No, just jokes aside, Jurassic Park, I'm going with 1 no, because that is just... And here is a masterpiece. Like the egg scene, too. Even the boring scenes are exciting in that film.
Yeah.
And the music, it's probably one of John Williams' most
And one of Williams'
remembered
best.
for a different generation. I mean, obviously you got Indiana Jones and all that stuff, but the Jurassic Park whenever you hear that, you're
And
there.
it was the day
Dun, dun,
CGI
dun,
changed.
dun.
That's the day computer everything changed. Yeah.
Well, actually,
That was
a lot of it
beginning for
was
sure.
anamorphic. It was not anamorphic. Sorry, it was animatronic
Yeah.
machines that they built for like the T-Rexes and everything. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, but also computer designs, like all them running
Oh, yeah,
through the
for
fields. That was the
For the
first
rafters.
time
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
they
Velociraptor.
started making the film without even knowing what the dinosaurs would look like. Half of them.
And I think we all fell in love with Samuel L. Jackson before he became a true badass with one of his famous lines of "Hold on to your butts."
Yeah. I was about to say it.
Go on,
How's it
Drew.
going?
What's your top three? Try and make them different, but if you can't,
Yeah, I know.
you
Well, I
can't.
was gonna. I will. I can't go.
It's difficult
Sorry.
to not say Jurassic Park, E.T., and
I
Jaws.
know. I can't. I can go different then. So
Let's try and go different. Yeah,
Saving Private Ryan, because that hit so hard.
Oh.
I knew you'd be that way. I
That
knew you were
hit
going
Good
that
call.
route.
So hard, man.
See, I thought you'd go more for the acting films, the films that have got the good acting, and
There's great acting in Saving Private Ryan, though.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's more of a story. Whereas
Yeah,
I thought Peter would go more film, like as
Yeah.
in big scapes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not for
Something
Spielberg.
artistic.
Not for Spielberg, actually.
And then I'm
oh,
gonna
there's
go-
your right, Kevin. Thank you for knowing me.
I'm gonna go Minority Report because that's an absolute masterpiece. And yeah, Colin Farrell and Tom Cruise go toe to toe. I mean, that is charisma overload, that movie. And then it's got to be Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I mean, that team up with Sean Connery and Harrison Ford is so beautiful. And that galloping into the sunset it is like rent free in my head. And I wish they never tried to create other Indiana Jones, because a guy on YouTube said, why would you try and top an ending that good?
And that was like, it felt like the end of it too. I mean, it was like a perfect trilogy in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Three
didn't
for a
dislike
reason.
the new one that came out, even though it wasn't really Indiana Jones. It was just Harrison Ford for a little bit. It was just
oh,
too
the Dial
old.
of Destiny, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't necessary.
I think the whole ending of them going back in time saves the film. Like, it was like, we're like a mid-film. Oh, the ultimate adventure. Time travel. He did it.
that's clever. And then E.T. 's there,
I mean,
like-
that would save the grace.
But the Crystal Skull one before, that was a pile of piss. That should have just never been made. That was the worst.
That was horrible.
Yeah, that was weird. You had like Kate Blanchett as the villain and then weird ants that were crazy strong. And yeah, anyway.
Okay, so me going last means that you've both fucked me, if I can't repeat.
Easy.
So Jurassic Park's no longer there, and Minority Report's no longer there.
Ooh.
So I'd go for genuinely possibly my favourite film from all of them, as in rewatchability and just joy, would be Hook.
Oh, that's a good one.
shout.
I didn't think about that. Oh, Kevin, that's a good one. Good
That's a
call.
film you could just watch forever.
That could be three. Fuck.
Robin Williams.
Oh, Jack. I mean, Dustin Hoffman is
Dustin, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. He was gold.
Everything's incredible.
Robin Williams.
And I'd go, maybe not everyone loves this film, but War of the Worlds. I love
That's a
it.
good one.
I really enjoyed that.
It's one of those films that it doesn't stand out as a Spielberg film, but it's just a great action thriller. There's constant movement. It's exciting. I just thought it was a perfect low state, like just everything about it is perfect. It's just not as a big hitter as some of the other ones that he's done. But again, that's got rewatchability for me as well. I've seen that so many times.
Yeah.
Well, that's another tie-in they could have had in the movie Disclosure Day, War of the Worlds, instead of whatever bullshit war they were talking about.
Yeah.
That was going on.
Yeah, just give it some bacteria. Yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
And I'll have to go Catch Me If You Can,
Classy.
which
Smart.
I watched about a month ago for the first time in like 15 years. I'm shocked how good it was still.
It's so good, though, isn't it? It's such an easy digesting watch. Yeah.
Young Leo.
They're in top form, man, as well. Well, he's playing almost like a con artist, isn't he? He's such a kind of lovable rogue in that. And then you got Tom Hanks trying to hunt him down. It's fucking great.
It's just great fun. That's the type of film I think, when I think Spielberg, I do think fun. I do think more PG than heavy hitting. and I do think it's just fun and silly and lots of jeopardy, lots of things that could go wrong, and how we're going to combat something, which is basically how you would list most of them, apart from, well, Schindler's List, but that's definitely not a caper. But definitely.
We all get it, Kevin. Don't worry.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
I would say going with what Drew said about Saving Private Ryan. I mean, that is possibly his greatest scene ever. Was the whole D-Day opening.
yeah,
That might be his greatest scene ever, possibly for Spielberg. I might go with that for scene, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a whole top 3 in itself, or top 10, the best Spielberg scenes, because he definitely has his magical "that's him" moments.
Well,
even the sink scene with Emily Blunt in Disclosure Day, when she does the splash and the camera's like looking up at her from the water. That's a Spielberg shot for sure. I was like,
yeah,
that's Spielberg.
yeah. He did a few little shots like that.
Go on.
Go on.
I was going to say, off the back of Saving Private Ryan, they created the TV series of Band of Brothers, which. So
That
it's like,
blew up too.
it opened up a whole different, world. Just the way that he decided to do a lot of Steadicam and then saturate the color out of it, and it was like, it's just such it has such a haunting element to it that it just feels so real that you're with these soldiers just all trying to be there for each other in one of the most hardest times in history. So and he captures it so well. So well.
I think for World War II Europe, I don't think there's been a better movie per se. Patton, that wasn't even that good, to be honest with you. Saving Private Ryan. I'm trying to think back to World War II war films, I should say.
Yeah.
That one might take the cake, to be honest with you.
And even the flashback from the old man in the grave, and he just says, "Have I been a good man? Have I led a good life?" Like that, even now hits me if I ever see that clip, it's like I'm a mess.
When Matt Damon becomes the old man, that's the tribute scene too.
But isn't it cool that the transition is so incredible? How they edited that it's like literally he molds into the man in the graveyard, and it's like holy shit, it hits so hard.
That's a hard thing to do too, to miraculously make it that seamless. So it's definitely an impactful shot for sure.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, I do have to get going now, unfortunately.
100%.
Yeah, we're good. I think that's what was missing, the magic and the emotion. They kind of hamstringed it in the end of Disclosure Day, really, didn't they? That's kind of the thing. But that was a really good chat. I did think we would struggle because none of us were that excited about it. But bitching about a movie is just as much fun as celebrating it sometimes.
It really is. I mean, me and my siblings were laughing about it afterwards yesterday. I mean, if you can't love it, you hate it. And if you hate, you love. So
What did you give it, though? Just quickly, rate-wise, how many whales would you give it?
I was 3 originally, but I might go 2.5 after this conversation today because we learned. I was like, you know what? Yeah, there were a lot of dumb moments in that film, like the cliff. I thought the same, actually. Now that I'm rethinking, I'm like, yeah, that was me in the theater. They're right there. You can see them.
And the
you
train,
can hear them.
The car getting pushed into the train, and she going, I can't move because I can't take my foot off just put the handbrake on. It's an old car. They have handbrakes. Jump out. She's like, no, I can't take my foot off the pedal. It's like,
no, here is the dumber part, Kevin. They could have jumped out of the car onto the grass or whatever on the side and roll out. A tuck and roll. But let's struggle to get on a train.
let's rather than just falling off, we'll go and make
just
ourselves
roll out.
Deeper jeopardy.
We'll climb up.
Let's go for everything.
Okay, down to 2. I was mid, and I think 2.5 makes sense. I think 2 sounds too harsh for the effort and some of the good bits.
2.5
for the quality, it is.
2.5 whales. All
You're
round.
the same, Drew?
2.5 whales.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sweet. Well, Steven Spielberg's next project is called The Untitled Frank Bullitt Project, based on the character played by Steve McQueen in 1968.
Wait, he has another movie still going on, Spielberg?
Yeah, it's in pre-production. It's very
no. We're going to Hollywood right now, going to Emblem, closing the doors. That's it. Shut them down. That's it. It's just, we had a nice run. Wrap it up. Let's get out of here. Let Nolan do his thing with Jorgensen. Okay, they're the new Williams and Spielberg. Let's just call it a day. Emblem is done. Rest in peace. I'm sorry. He's done.
Spielberg, you're magic. Don't fuck it up.
This was the final nail in the coffin, if you ask me. 3 blah movies in a row. I didn't like Ready Player One. I thought Fabelmans was decent, but yeah, I think this was almost time.
Fabelmans was a vanity project. That was just for him. That wasn't
I wish he did a whole biopic of just himself, though. The parents' story, I did not give a crap about, to be honest with you.
But that wasn't that super something. That's based on his life. Super 8. That's based on
maybe loosely.
Spielberg's life.
Loosely, yeah.
It's all about the camera and making films as a little boy, and Anyway,
Anyway, we better let Peter go.
Yeah, I gotta go, unfortunately.
Pleasure as always, man, to hang out with you, dude. Thank you.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. I kind of needed this too. It's always fun to have some intelligent cinephile conversation. So,
That's never been said
a
before.
little bit of everything. So I enjoyed my time with you guys.
Nice one.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, everyone, for listening, and awesome to see you, Peter. We'll catch you next time.
Rock and roll. Have
Take
a
care,
good
dude.
one, everybody.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had a whale of a time.
Thank you all for your continued support, and please check out our back catalogue of fun episodes with many brilliant guests. Just to remind you, Rage Whale is on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and YouTube, where you can follow and subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Also, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok for fun clips from the show. There are links there for Rage Whale merch, as well as our email address if you want to send us a question or your movie opinion. We always love hearing from you. Thanks again for spending your time with us. See you next time.